Alright, and hello again to YouTube. What's up, what's cracking? My name is Crackin Atkins, coming at you with a quick video today. So I wanted to make this video in response to a couple of things I've been seeing on Twitter, and also just some things I've been noticing as far as button binds. So button layout, you know, everybody kind of has their preferences as far as like what button layout they want to play on given their circumstances, maybe a controller thing, hitbox, I mean DualShocks, arcade sticks. There's a whole bunch of different type of controllers in today's market of people that play fighting games. But one thing that I do think is worth considering putting on your button binds, or two things actually that I think are worth considering putting on your button binds, is going to be these two at the bottom. It's going to be the dash macro and also the Roman cancel macro. As far as like my button binds, I think I'll throw those up on the screen so you guys can just see what mine look like, where I place the dash and where I place the Roman cancel. I do play on stick too, so that's something to keep in mind. But having those two button binds available is something that definitely ensures consistency. And not only that, in some cases it can give you access to some techniques or just like some efficiency that you wouldn't have otherwise. And I think there's kind of like 5 main reasons why I think those button binds are a must-have if you're going to be playing Guilty Gear Strive. Alright, so the first reason that I want to get into is it ensures minimal risk if an input is made like incorrectly. So for example, we have Soul here, right? So a situation that could happen in a Soul match is if you want to do Gunflame RC, right? So we all know about like drift RC, which is inputted by doing the dash right before you do your RC. A situation that Soul may want to set up is like Gunflame RC into mix, right? You can go into throw, could go into wild throw if I had execution. There we go. You can go low, you can do dust, you can do all types of stuff in that situation, right? But like that's a situation that if you're doing it, you want to make sure that you get the drift. The drift is the super important part, right? Because let's say if we were to misinput it, right? If we did Gunflame RC, we no longer have access to a throw mix no matter what we do, no matter how fast we try to get there. I can't throw my opponent because I didn't get my drift. You know, if we were doing the RC and trying to input the drift and we like mess up by trying to do it manually, you know, I'm all over the stick. I'm getting it sometimes, but really if you just want to ensure just like no questions asked, you know, you just do your Gunflame and then you just plink the buttons. I have them right next to each other on my stick button bind, so literally I just do the quarter circle P and then I just slide the buttons of dash and the RC button, and yeah, super fluid, you know, just do it super consistently, get my throw, and it's all good. Like I said, you know, you don't want this to happen because it's significantly kind of reducing the threat of your offense. Alright, and the second reason that I think that the dash and RC macro is super important comes down to actually fast RC canceling. So if you didn't know, Hi-Fi posted this video a few days ago after release. So you have your normal Roman cancel, right, which comes up with that timer. And basically you can, you know, it like freezes the screen a bit, you know, while that timer is active. Which has different implications depending on like what RC you're doing and a whole bunch of other stuff. The RC system of this game is really deep, but like anyways, one aspect of the RC system is that you can actually cancel the interaction of that timer coming out in the first place by canceling the RC into a button, right? So if we're just going into like just slash, it would look something like this, right? So you see the timer doesn't come up. Don't gotta worry about it at all. And so players have been like kind of figuring out a whole bunch of implications on what fast RC canceling actually means, and like it can open up a pretty wide variety of stuff of getting like some instant overhead setups, some fuzzy setups, and just some interesting things. But it can, in some instances, be a bit execution heavy or really timing based, and it's something that if you're going for, you want to be sure that you're getting consistently. So like for my example, right, I've been doing Dolphin, and the reason for that is because she has a way that she can use her drift RC with a fast RC cancel to get a instant overhead, or in some cases a fuzzy, depending on if you block it standing. So it looks something like this. Let's see if I get this first try. Yeah, so it looks just like that, and you know the way I'm inputting that, I'm doing the Dolphin, drift RC upwards into a jump heavy slash. So that is made simple for me with as little buttons as possible, so I only have to hit 4 buttons. 4 buttons in order to make that come out. You know, I have to hit my slash for the dolphin initially. I'm hitting my dash macro. I'm hitting my RC macro, and then I'm hitting my heavy slash. If I did not have like either of those macros, the amount of inputs I would have to manually do is actually a little bit ridiculous, right? We'd have to do like you know, the dolphin, and then we have to hit up and 3 buttons all at the same time, and then somehow like mash out the heavy slash. Like, it's ridiculous. I guess I'll try it. I don't want to. Like, I got it that time, but like it's not worth it, in my opinion. At the end of the day, you know, just have the macros, and yeah, no problem. See? And so the third reason that I would say that you would want to invest, for this one specifically, would just be a dash macro, is just simply gives you easier IADs, so easier instant air dashes. BB tag players are probably a little bit more familiar with this because we have dash macro in that game, and you know, IAD pressure is something that's pretty prevalent in Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, but it's pretty prevalent in this game too. So the second most played character I have at the moment is Anji. Anji's kind of like my secondary at the moment, and I really like his jump heavy slash. You know, I like retreating with jump heavy slash, I like approaching with jump heavy slash, right? And it's just an autonomous action. Well, is what I would say, but it's just an autonomous action. It's not really anything I have to worry about, just because of me having this dash macro, right? I'm going to consistently get the, you know, an instant air dash, you know, get the air dash as soon as I'm able to take to the skies to make this type of approach, you know, as hard to react to as possible, and not having to worry about doing like jump, a manual dash. You know, you can see these are kind of varying on the verticality. They're not all instant, and it's all around just a more strenuous task that doesn't really need to be that difficult to begin with. Just get your dash macro, and you can start moving around with ease, and don't gotta worry about anything at all, you know, because you know, I have Milia here too. I don't really play Milia, but I know that she has 2 air dashes. I'm sure that's something that you would want to have consistent with her too. So definitely worth investing in the dash macro for really all characters, but especially characters that just naturally move around in the air a lot. Alright, and the fourth reason why I think a dash and RC macro is a good idea, this time it's going to be specifically for just an RC. It allows a lot of consistency for when you're trying to do YRC out of block stun, right? Because I think YRC, that meaning yellow Roman cancel, basically the way that it works is kind of like a V reversal, if you want to think of it in that sense, or like an alpha counter. If you just want a direct comparison, you know, basically the way it works is like while you're in block stun, boom. Basically the way it works, you know, you get to get that slight little kind of like burst animation, right? That if the explosion makes contact with the opponent or pushback, you know, they don't take any damage, but they can't continue whatever offense they were trying to get started on you. It is a little bit risky because like if it whiffs, you actually are vulnerable and can be punished. But it could be a nice get off me option if you're, you know, suffocating under some pressure, especially from a character like Ino, who has a very nice set play and can kind of make you guess with high-low and the Izzy dashes and everything. So saying that to say that this is something that if you're going to spin meter on, because RC system and like spinning meter in this game is something that's super valuable, right? Like the RC system is insanely nuts, so if you spin it, you want to make sure that you're spinning it properly, kind of falling in line with step 1, except this in this aspect is from the defensive end rather than the offensive end. You want consistency, right? So I have the computer set up to do this sequence right here, right? Just something really basic, set play into mix and such, right? So what we want to guarantee that happens with the dash or with the RC macro is that we're going to be able to yellow Roman cancel out of that successfully. If I want to choose not to block it, right? I'm Potemkin, I'm huge, I don't want to block these overheads all day, I don't want to block. It just comes down to that. So let's try to just mash out of this with the RC, and you can see my inputs here of how brain dead I'm being with this. Right, just get off me, right? I don't have to worry about anything, just get off me. I'm literally just mashing the RC button, get it away from me. Just one button I have to worry about, right? Now, let's say I did not have the RC button, I was just trying to mash things out manually. So in order to do RCs again, it's hitting 3 buttons, right? Any 3 buttons that you want. The thing is, so faultless defense is definitely a mechanic in the game. You get it by getting, you get it by doing back in any 2 buttons, but it does take tension gauge, so it does drain some of your meter. For the situation I have it set up in the way that it is right now, right? Take a look at, right? I'm getting just enough meter to where I'm gonna be able to do the RC, but FD drains RC, and it drains it pretty quickly, right? So what we don't want to happen if we're manually inputting RC is for something like this to go down. Right? Oh no, I accidentally misinputted my Roman cancel, and like I got the FD, and although like this may not be the best example because the FD isn't a awful thing to do in this situation. I mean, it left Eno back pretty far, and it is kind of like still a get off me sort of thing, but the concept is there. Like if you want YRC and you actually get the, that's it, you know, you're gonna have to, you know, eat more pressure before you get your meter back to have the opportunity to do another yellow Roman cancel. So no use in really kind of like struggling with that situation in the first place. You know, just get your RC macro, mash it out on block. I mash RC macro on block like all the time, because also the other thing about it, not to get too in depth into this, but like if you're not in block stun, you're like a blue Roman cancel, and blue Roman cancels are fantastic in their own right, but this isn't a Roman cancel video, so don't worry about that. Okay, and so this last reason why I think dash and RC macros are really important, this one's going to be specifically in relation to dash, is because of specifically charged characters. So I play Mei. I also have Leo on the screen because I think he benefits pretty greatly from this. Those are only two characters besides Potemkin, but he doesn't have a dash, so I can't use him here, that I can think of that has charge inputs that this would like really directly kind of affect. There may be more. I haven't played with a lot of characters, to be fair, so if you have a charge input and you have a dash, this may be something you want to keep in mind. So this is something that I learned from Ken Deep, who posted this like I think pretty much when the game came out, and I saw a tweet from Clover as well. They posted a tweet about this too. Basically, you can use the dash after getting your initial charge input. So to explain, right, the charge buffer window in or the charge window in Guilty of Strive is really fast, right? So you don't have to charge for very long at all to get your charge. But not only that, it stores your charge for a good amount of time. So like what I'm going to do to kind of show this example, I'm going to get a dolphin charge, return to neutral, right, return to center, and don't do anything, and then I'm going to do my dolphin. So watch this. Right, it stores the input to where I don't have to necessarily go directly back to 6 or forward from my back charge to get my dolphin. I can wait a little bit and then do my dolphin, right? So what does this mean with dashing, right? So if you have access to the dash macro, you can do something like this. You can get a full screen dolphin. So like normally, you know, when it comes to Mei, you know, the heavy slash dolphin doesn't quite reach full screen. It reaches very close to the opponent, but not quite full screen. But again, if you have that dash macro, you can really kind of vary the distances of your dolphin, and you can get one that hits like sometimes full screen, or sometimes just really close to full screen, right? Travel significantly further than what it does usually. And so to kind of explain and really break down step by step how I'm getting this, right? So I'm holding back or down back, you know, however way you're getting charge. Returning the center, but at the same time returning the center, hitting the dash macro, and then doing my forward input to get whatever I'm trying to do. So like that, right? You can't do this if you don't have a dash macro. So this is literally kind of showing like something, you know, the previous examples were just kind of like more theoretical, you know, in a match, what can happen if you make a mistake. This is something that you straight up just can't do if you don't have a dash macro. So like you can't like, because once you hit forward, you're going to lose your charge. So you can't like dash and then get the dolphin. It's never going to work, right? The only way that it's allowed to work again is you hold your back charge, return to 5 or center, neutral, right? You do nothing. You're not putting any motions on your controller there, and then you know, at the same time that you do that, you do the dash, and then boom, pretty good. And this doesn't just work for back charge, this can also work for down charge as well. So like the greatest way I want to show this example is like Mei's just from round start, Mei slash up dolphin, right? Doesn't make contact from round start, but if you do the dash macro, yeah, you get like way more distance on that thing, right? Because you're getting a running start before you actually get the up dolphin out from there. And so yeah, that benefits Mei pretty well. You know, she's a charge character. Definitely benefits Leo as well too. Because if we look at Leo's charge inputs, right, he has the fireball, right? His slash and heavy slash fireball. Doing the dash macro with him allows for a slash fireball to basically be full screen in a sense, if you really want to think about it, right? Whereas usually it's not, or it's just something like, it's a way that he can approach, right? Especially like if you just do like a dash heavy, like this is terrifying, right? So that's something that Leo gets. Not only that, and I think this is one of the more like really cool uses here for Leo, right? He has a slash kick, right, which people have been calling, which is a charge down input. You can kind of manipulate the range that you get on your flash kick with doing this, right? So you can do like dash, you know, flash kicks all over the place, and basically he already covers so much verticality naturally as it is, but then the amount of like horizontal range that you're going to be able to cover by like doing this technique is going to be really make your opponent scared to jump like from everywhere. And yeah, I think that's all that I have for now. So those are like the 5 reasons why I think the dash and RC macro are super important. You know, these are definitely the ways I have been playing the game, you know, just constantly dashing all over the place, dash back dolphins, not having to worry about anything. So hopefully you find it useful. I mean, if you have any questions or concerns, or if you know of any other applications that dash and RC could be used for, definitely let me know. Maybe some more Strive videos coming soon, maybe some streams coming soon. I don't know, I'm working on things. But yeah, that's all I have for now. You guys have a good one.